Welcome back to another episode of the Grateful Gem podcast. I'm the host, Jasmine Shannelle, and today's topic is using what you have. Stick around because gems are definitely about to be dropped, so get ready. Before I get into this episode, I need everyone listening to this podcast right now to follow the podcast on IG at The Grateful Gem Pod, and also follow me at Jasmine Shannelle. I'll spell everything out and put it in the episode notes. Okay, let's get started. Welcome back, guys. I'm so excited. I know I haven't recorded an episode in the last 2 weeks. Don't kill me. To be honest with you, I have just the week before last was my birthday. So I was so busy with my birthday events that I honestly didn't want to just put an episode out there and just throw something out there to have it rushed and say that I uploaded it. As you guys know, I don't like just uploading stuff to have something to upload or to say that I've uploaded something. So I did think about last week, what I was going to talk about. And to be honest with you, it just didn't come to me. So I said, I'm not going to record something just to say I recorded it and have it put up. So this week, actually today, I'm sitting here like, okay, Jasmine, people are asking me like, when are you going to put another podcast episode up? And I think that is awesome. Like, a few of my friends texted me and are like, where's the episode? We're waiting. It's been 2 weeks. I haven't seen the episode. And I'm like, oh God, feel like I'm delayed in the mission that God has on my life. Like, I feel like there is a purpose for me doing this podcast, and people look forward to hearing it, whether it's one or two people. People look forward to what it is that I'm saying, because there could be something that could impact their life for the better. So I'm just being diligent with the word that was sent to me from those people requesting the episode. And I was just like, I told my best friend, I was like, I'm gonna get it sent out today. But I honestly didn't know, or this week, but I didn't honestly know what I was going to be talking about. So today I was listening to, and I'm actually going to link the video in the show notes for you to take a listen to, because I really think that it was really good. Because to be honest with you guys, I've been in a place where I'm just all over the place. My emotions are everywhere. I'm everywhere. I don't really know what's going on and what's what. I just really am trying to figure it all out. So I have just been praying and asking, God to reveal these things, and asking, what it is that I'm supposed to do, or where it is I'm supposed to go. And I was listening to a message today, and they were talking, the topic was back at one, and it was basically starting back where you started, starting from the first thing that God gave you, or the first mission or assignment He told you to do, the first prayer He told you to pray, or the first thing that He told you to do to help somebody, going back to the basics of starting from scratch, looking over the things that He last told you to do, and going back to that one and saying, well, did you complete it? Okay, well, let's go back to the one before that. Did you complete that? And I was like, wow, this is really good. The message was so awesome. And today I want to talk from that subject as well. I'm actually going to do a 2-part series. So this is going to be part 1, speaking on that topic. And then the next episode will be part 2. So just stay tuned, because I really think that there is some great information in these videos in that video that I want to get unpacked and just speak on a little bit, because it really resonated with me. Because like I said, I'm in a point where I just feel stagnant everywhere. Even though things are moving forward, I feel like I'm not moving forward. I feel like I'm still standing in the same spot that I was standing in. So to hear that was so amazing. And I was just like, wow, that's awesome to be able to hear and know that, that was a message for me. And I was excited because, like I said, I've been listening to sermons all week, and I've heard a few of Sarah Jake's on, and I resonated with a few of them, but it was just like, yeah, I've heard these things before. This doesn't really resonate to me. And this one was just like hit dead home for me, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I just wanted to share it because, like I said, I'm in a point where I don't know, I don't know what's going on. So, and it was talking about basically figuring out what are you doing with what you already have. So if you're praying about a new job, if you're praying about a new home or buying a home or a new apartment, if you're wanting to get a new car, if you're praying about a new relationship, if you're praying about new friends, if you're praying about better relationships with your family, anything that you don't already have, what are you doing with what you do have to prepare you for what God is going to bring you, or for those prayers that you're asking, because you know that God gives us and answers the desires of our heart, and He's going to give you what you need. So in this time of waiting, or time of asking questions or prayer requests, what are you doing that will get you forward to what it is that you're praying for? And I was like, wow, this is crazy, because this is really how I feel. I feel like I've been praying. I've been, reading the word. I've been listening to sermons. I've been tithing. I've been doing all these things. But in all reality, I had to really ask myself, like, okay, well, what is it that I'm doing to prepare for the things that I'm praying for? What is it that I'm doing different that can help me better prepare for my future? And not by going out and getting things that's going to help manifest these things into my life, but what do I already have that I can already use to get what I need, or to prepare better for what God has for me? And like I said, I thought this message was so awesome, because we take for granted the small things that we have. If you're looking to buy a home, and you're praying for this to come past, and you have an apartment, but you don't take care of the apartment, your apartment is not clean, you don't clean it, or you haven't really unpacked the apartment because you're just praying and believing God for that house, and you're just praying that the lease ends and that house comes. But how are you treating what you already have? You're taking it for granted. So when you do get that home, when you move in, are you going to do the same thing? You're going to be ready to up and move into another house because it works like that? And I was just like, wow, this is so good. Like, okay, if you're asking for a promotion or a raise on your job, what are you doing to manifest and make sure that comes through? Are you coming to work on time? Are you meeting your numbers if you have numbers? Are you meeting with your manager if you have a manager to figure out what needs to be done to get that promotion? Are you being proactive? Are you taking into consideration what needs to be done in order for these things to manifest? And I really think that is a good topic, because we always think about what we want, and we think about how God will answer our prayers, but we don't think about the work that we have to put in to get those prayers answered and to have those manifested in our life. We don't think about how one wrong decision or one thing that we take for granted can change our character. We don't think about those things. We just think about what we want and how can we get them. But then when we get them, we're waiting for the next thing or the next best thing to come after that, and we're not really appreciating what we already have. So this message, and again, I'm going to link it in the notes, and I really hope that you will listen to it, because I really think that it had great points. It was a great sermon. I've never heard this guy preach before, but he was really good, and I was just like, wow, this is so awesome. I'm so excited to even be talking on this topic, because like I said, I didn't know what I was going to be talking about. I didn't know what I was going to be saying, but I really feel like this message is going to help somebody. And if it don't help you, I can honestly say for myself, it's going to help me, because it really woke me up. And I'm just like, wow, I'm believing for all of these things, and I need to look at what am I doing to better prepare myself for the things that I'm asking for or the things that I'm believing God for. And it could be something so small, but the small things are the things that count the most. What are you doing in your everyday life? You get 24 hours in a day. Of those 24 hours, what is it that you're doing that can continue to help manifest and pave the way for your future, for the things that you're asking for? What will show God that you're humble? What will show God that you appreciate what you're praying for, so that when it comes, you don't not appreciate it, you don't not value it? Because if you take it for granted, how can you appreciate it, And I really think that's something that we need to look at. You're praying for a husband or you're praying for a wife, and you a terrible girlfriend or you a terrible boyfriend. How you praying for something that's sacred, something that was created, marriage, by God, and you're asking him to honor that, but you can't even honor not being committed. Or not being committed, but, not being married. Commitment to me is marriage. Singleness is when you're dating. So, yeah. How can you say you want to be committed, fully committed, tied the knot to someone when you can't even be in a non-committal relationship without a ring? You can't be loyal to one person because you're looking for 10 other things in 10 other women or 10 other men. How can you say that you want to be a leader at your job, but you're coming in late every day? You're not meeting your numbers. You're not getting your work done. You're avoiding work. You're calling out sick every other day. How can they put you in a position to where you're leading someone? You're not a leader. And you may have leader qualities, but you're not living up to that potential. And it's not because you can't do it. It's because you're waiting on the next best thing to happen. But my question to you is, again, what are you doing that can manifest the things that you're praying for? If you want a new car, what are you taking care of? Are you keeping the maintenance on the car you have? Are you making sure that you're not riding it on E if you can? Are you making sure that you're paying your payments on time? Are you making sure that you're budgeting your funds accordingly so that you have money to put aside for extra things that need to be repaired on the car? Tires, oil changes. Are you making sure the maintenance is kept up on the car? Yeah, it might be a clunker, but why is it a clunker? Did you buy it as a clunker or did you turn it into a clunker? Seriously though, people do not understand the importance of the small things. And that's why I was sitting here today to record this episode, to remind you of the small things that we have to do in order to manifest the thing that God has for us. And if you're single and you're waiting for that guy to come, what are you doing in your singleness? And this is actually to myself, because like I told you guys, me and my ex-boyfriend decided to go our separate ways. And whether that relationship comes back or not, I'm want to be preparing myself to be a good partner, to be a good girlfriend, to be a great wife. So in this time or my season of waiting, what am I doing to make sure that I accomplish those things, that I am a good girlfriend, that I am a good wife? What am I doing to prepare myself? And I ask myself that all the time. And to be honest with you, the best answer that I can say right now is that I'm working on myself. Me and my ex-boyfriend had a conversation, and he was talking about, getting back together. And I asked him, I said, can you tell me the reason why we're not together? And, he gave why he thought we wasn't together. And I said, that's fine, but can you tell me why we aren't together? Don't tell me what you think. Don't tell me what you assume. Tell me what I've communicated to you as to why this didn't work, because you agreed. So tell me what it is that's missing from this relationship that's not letting it flourish the way that it's supposed to flourish. Tell me. And at that moment, I realized, nope, it's not time yet. We got to keep moving because we haven't met the time frame that needed to be met to manifest something great. And I feel like this is a season of preparation, not only for myself, but for him. And when the time is right, if that time comes, then, we'll go forward. But if not, we're going to keep doing this, or I'm going to move on. It's just that simple. But in this season of waiting, I'm not sitting here, just passing time with random people, making the time go by, because that's not growing me. It's not helping me at all in a relationship. That's just another face to chill with or hang out with until the time comes. So what happens when I don't grow as a person, but I'm the same person and God sends me the person that's going to marry me? Or he sends that ex-boyfriend back if he's supposed to marry me and I'm not ready. What happens? And that's how you need to look at whatever it is that you're looking at for God to bless. You want to buy a house? What happens when you get approved for the house but you can't afford it? Or you save money but now you blown it because you got approved? Or what happens when you buy that car but you can't make the car note? Or you get that promotion but you're still living paycheck to paycheck? What happens when God manifests the things that we're asking him to do? He comes and delivers on our part. And a lot of times we're waiting on God when God waiting on us. He's waiting on you to get your act together. So either you're going to get it together or you're going to continue to walk in these circles. And for me, I'm not doing that. So I'm going to link it in the description. And I pray that you listen to it. I really think this is the season of being able to be a good steward, being able to see clearly, because we are in the year 2020. Get your vision. Get your vision together. Figure out what it is that you want to do in life. Stop walking around blindsided to where it is you're trying to go and you have no destination. I'm going to quote Timberlake one more time. A person with no vision of their future will always revert back to their past. And that is so true, because sometimes we get upset or we don't really understand the plans that God has for us. So we draw back and we revert back to what's safe. And it's not even us going back sometimes. Sometimes the past will come back to you when you're moving forward, but it's because you haven't fully dealt with the situation that was previously at hand. And the devil knows you. He knows what can get you off track. He knows who to bring. He knows when to bring them. So be careful. Be open to change. Be open to changing your environments, changing what it is that you're doing, changing your mindset, because it is really, really, really important, you guys. It's so important. Like I said, in January, we're already in February. So January has been a great month for me. February is actually starting off as well. And we're going to talk about that in the next episode. That was going to be called Expecting Expectation. That's going to go into a little bit more about when you're praying about something and God doesn't answer that prayer. He answers a prayer that you haven't even prayed for, or something that he blesses you with and you haven't even asked for it. And you're grateful, but you're not able to really understand. I'm grateful for this, but how become, God, you're not answering my other prayers. And that just comes back to what we're talking about today. Being thankful for the small things, because the very thing that you didn't pray for could have been the very thing that is needed in order to answer the prayer that you're asking for. So pay close attention to the things around you. This is not the time to be stagnant. This is not the time to be standing around waiting on people to help you. You have to learn how to help yourself and move forward by yourself, because at the end of the day, God's got you. You have to trust his plan. You have to trust his word. And most importantly, trust your intuition. Trust the things that people are showing you. Trust what's around you, and don't doubt a second guess ever. Don't ever doubt you rethinking or having a gut feeling about something. And I really, really, really am so passionate about this topic, because like I said, this is what I'm going through. I'm at a point where it's just like, I'm lost. I'm lost, y'all. Like, I'm praying about things and God is not answering. Excuse me. Sorry, let's do that again. I'm praying about things, but God is not answering them in the way that I see him answering them. And I'm going to say that again. I'm praying for things, but God is not answering them the way that I see him answering him. So just because I feel like he's not answering my prayers doesn't mean they aren't already answered. Sometimes in the way, you have to be patient. You have to Pay attention to what's around you. Pay attention to what's shaping up around you. Because once things start shifting a little bit, once you start turning the screw off the top of a soda or turning the wheel on a boat, the boat will slowly move. That soda will slowly pop open once you screw the top. You have to, that cork when you pull it out that wine bottle, when y'all going home stressing and sipping on that wine, aka me. When you pulling that wine cork out of that bottle, when you turning that corkscrew to pull it out, it takes time. You have to be patient, and to be honest, I struggle with getting corks out of wine bottles, so I'm thanking God that he answered my prayers for the screw tap on the wine bottles, because I have times with it, and it's because I'm not patient. I be wanting my drink, and I be wanting it right then and there, and that's just that. I want what I want when I want it. And the first thing is just being real with yourself. Be real with yourself enough to know where you need to grow, to know what you need to do. Pray and ask God to reveal things to you that you need to grow in. Pray to God that people will come to you with words of wisdom, not just to criticize you, but to be there to uplift you and give you some criticism in how you can better yourself, because we are not perfect. We all can grow in certain areas, but you have to be willing to do that. Don't ever think that because things are going well that it's going to continue to stay that way without working on yourself. So please do not ever think that it's all peaches and cream, because it's not. And don't take the small things for granted, because those are the most important ones. The things that we really overlook are things that really matter. You know, if you listen to people's testimonies and listen to people's stories, you'll hear, oh, I overlooked this and this happened, but I didn't really think it mattered. But come to find out, this small thing was the detail and the fine print to the very thing that I'm praying for. So be real with yourself. Be real and let yourself know that you need to pay attention. And pray that God gives you the sight and the strength that you need. Because it's hard for you to see clearly when your vision is blurred. So pray that he gives you clear vision, not only just in being able to move forward in your life, but being able to figure out who's walking with you, where you're going. That's the first thing. Get your vision together, get your mission together, get your purpose together. Find out, not only for your business, but for you. What does that mean for me? What is my mission? What is my purpose? What is my vision? Where am I going? What is the outcome? What is God placing me here to do? And I feel like we've been playing around too long, and I say we because I'm including myself. I've been playing around too long. I could be so far from where I am today, but God has me in this place for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. We could all be somewhere else, but we're where we are at for a reason. We're here for a reason, and you're going to either choose to stay here, or you're going to wander around in the wilderness for 40 years. And to be honest, I ain't doing that. So it's like you got to get with the program or get lost. Stand for something or fall for anything. You have to be willing to put the work in. Be willing to hear what it is that God is telling you. Use what you have. Use the resources and the people that are around you. You're at your 9 to 5. You're trying to get you an entrepreneur's 100% full time. Good. Use that job to motivate you. Don't just go to this job dreading it, showing up late, barely doing your numbers, barely making it, and just praying and watching the clock 24/7, because nothing good is going to come out of that. And you may get to being 100% entrepreneur, but use your job to make money. Take the money that you make to finance your entrepreneurship. To finance your credit. Build your credit. And then once you build your credit, use your credit for your entrepreneurship, for your business. And I'm personally, my goal right now is not to be 100% an entrepreneur, because I know that I'm not ready for that. I sometimes don't even want to deal with my businesses, to be honest. But I know that this is what God has called me to do. This is where I'm supposed to be. And some days are better than most, but every day it's gonna be just like your job, something that you love to do. You have to keep it different. You think everybody likes getting up? At the end of the day, nothing comes free. You have to work for everything you get. So don't think just because you're going from corporate America to your own America or your own business that it's gonna get easier, because trust me, it's not. And you have to remember that. So get your vision together, get your purpose together, get your mission down pat, figure out where it is that you're going, Figure out how you're going to get there, and figure out once you get there how you're going to stay moving forward. You don't want to backtrack at all. And like I said, this podcast episode is so close to my heart because this is the living testimony or the story of my life right now. This is where I'm at. I'm praying and I feel like God is ignoring me, but He's answering so many other things that I haven't even prayed for, but I need. So I need to be thankful for the small things that are happening in my life right now, because they're going to pave the way and shape the way for my future. And there's a lot of things that I'm planning on doing this year, and this one thing that just happened is going to make that possible. So stop looking at what God didn't answer and thank Him for the things that He did answer, and thank Him for also the things that He didn't answer, because obviously there's a reason why He hasn't answered them. So you're praying for a new friend, but what kind of friend are you? You're praying for a new job. What kind of work ethics do you have? You're praying for anything. Think about how what you're praying for will impact you and how you will impact it. Are you an asset to what God is going to give you, or are you a liability? And that's just 100% real. That's where I'm at right now. I'm asking myself, okay, I'm praying for this, but when I get it, God, how is this going to look? Yeah, I want to be married, but am I ready to be a wife right now? Because I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm selfish. And not in a bad way, but when it comes, I'm not going to say I'm selfish. I'm not. Edit that part out. No, seriously, keep it in. But I'm not going to say I'm selfish, because I'm not selfish. What I am is stubborn. I'm very stubborn. When I feel a certain way, it's hard to get me out of that thought. When I want something my way, either you're going to help me get it done, or I'm going to get it done myself. I don't like waiting on people. I don't have patience. So I can literally step on my own toes, and I've done it several of times. If y'all remember the episode about the strawberries and my ex-boyfriend, that was the story of my life, because either he was going to get those strawberries or I was going to get them. And imagine had I ordered those strawberries and he had already paid for them. It just would have been like, gosh, like, Jasmine, you could have just been patient. But that's my flaws. I know what I am. And when I think about that and think about what that brings to a relationship, to a commitment, to a man that God has fearfully and wonderfully made just for me, is that fair? Of course, I know he ain't gonna be perfect. He's gonna have some flaws, but I'm not focusing on him right now. I'm focusing on me. So I'm just taking what I know about myself and trying to figure out, okay, am I really ready for this? Am I ready for marriage? Yeah, I want to buy a house, but how am I with my money right now? Am I saving more money than I'm spending? Am I making more money than I'm spending? And to be honest, the answer is no, because I have eaten out almost every day for the past month, and that's saddening when I think about it. And so what am I doing to fix that? I'm budgeting, and I'm getting tight with my budget. I honestly was doing really good with my budgeting, but I guess like since January came, like it was my birthday all month, y'all. So, but that ain't no excuse. Let's be real, that ain't no excuse. It's February 5th. It ain't no longer January, so I need to get it together. But that's okay, y'all, because I wrote down my budget list. I'm in a spreadsheet at work. I put one in my calendar. I got a planner calendar, and I'm counting down everything. I've already preset my bills to come out. I've already scheduled things to be transferred to my savings. I'm going to open up a new savings account. You see what I'm saying? I'm being proactive. What are you doing to prepare and have God manifest those things that you're praying for? Yeah, I might be praying that, Lord, don't let the account open. I need this money. But I'm going to do it. So just think about whatever it is that you're praying for, and think about how you're going to be able to bring that to life. How can you make it better? How can you make that situation better? How can you show yourself that you're worthy of the things that you're praying for? Because sometimes we pray for things that we don't even deserve. You want a good man, but you a terrible girlfriend or a terrible wife. You would be a terrible wife. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not bashing anybody. I'm solely talking about myself, but speaking in general, honestly. you need to do some self-reflecting and just think about those things. Stop worrying about what the other person is doing. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, and stay in your 2 lanes, the lines that are created for you, and worry about yourself. And in the season of waiting, be patient. Pray for discernment. Pray for clarity. Pray for strength to get through. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to pray for you right now. Dear Father, I ask that you continue to heal the hearts that are listening to this message. God, that you continue to open our eyes and that you continue to help us see clearly what it is that you're showing us. That there would be no more brokenness in any of our lives. That, God, we will be productive with the time that we have in our season of waiting. God, I pray that you continue to mend our hearts to the hearts of the people that you have called us to be. That we stand firm on your word and that we walk with our heads high because we are multi-high king and queens of an almighty God. Lord, I pray that you continue to cleanse us from inside and out, and that, God, it may not make sense right now, but it will later. God, I thank you for the yeses, and we also thank you for the no's. And it's in your name we pray this prayer. Amen. I really hope you guys take into consideration what I'm telling you. I really hope that you do some self-reflecting and start planning and writing down those things that you're waiting on God to do. Because again, God's not going to just keep blessing you if you're not ready. And in some cases, He will bless you. But are you ready to be blessed and not be prepared for the things that He's blessing you with? Or would you rather have a blessing come to you that you can appreciate? Think about that the next time you pray. Think about that the next time you complain. Think about that the next time you make a wrong decision out of your current situation. Remember that feelings are temporary. And the things that we do out of temporary situations can change our life each and every day. So just remember that. So yeah, that's this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know if you need help. You need an accountability partner. You need help budgeting. You need help praying. You need help with anything. I'm gonna link that video in the link in the show notes so you guys will have it. And I'll see you on the next episode. Again, this is part 2. There will be a part. This is part 1. There will be a part 2 to this series, and it's going to be called Expecting Expectation. So thank you for listening. Keep shining at the gems you are, and have a blessed week.